Part A. Now think about the domain. We're doing Part A. Find the implied domain of this linear function. The domain are usually what we call all the x values. In this case, it would be all the s values, which means the restriction, the domain is the restriction we might have on her amount of sales. And so what is implied here is that the domain is equal to her amount of sales. And we look at this function, and we know that sales are never going to be negative. We're going to make that assumption. And that there's no limit on how much she can sell, because you can see in this function there's no situation that would be messed up if she had, say, a 0. There's no fraction that has where we could possibly get a 0 denominator. We don't have any problems like that. Normally I would say it's all real numbers, but because we don't want her making less than $0, we'll say that it's the interval from $0 to infinity dollars. So we include 0 because she could make nothing, and we never include infinity. And that's the implication here. Since this is a money, it can go from 0 to infinity. Part B, we're going to find and interpret I of 0. So I of 0, let's find it. It's equal to, we're going to use the formula. It's equal to 0.01 times S, which is 0, plus 20,000, which means it's equal to $20,000. So even if she has no sales, she's going to make $20,000. We're going to call that her base salary. That's our interpretation of what this is. It's her base salary. So that implies that she can earn at least $20,000. Part C, what is her income when her sales are $500,000? So what they're saying there is find I when S equals 500,000. Okay, so that would be I of 500,000. I of 500,000, oops, is equal to 0.01 times 500,000 plus 20,000. That's equal to 5,000. That's a result of 0.01 times 500,000 plus 20,000, which is equal to, we'll put a dollar sign now, $25,000. So if she sells $500,000 worth of screen doors, she will make $25,000 that year. Okay, Part D says graph this linear function. Well, Part B gave us the ordered pair. It told us that I of 0 equals 20,000, which is the same as saying that we have the ordered pair xy equals, when x is equal to 0, y, in other words I of 0, is equal to 20,000. So that's an ordered pair. And Part C gave us I of 500,000 equals 25,000, and that implies that we have another ordered pair, xy equals, when x is equal to 500,000, y is equal to 25,000. Okay, so we can call this x sub 1, y sub 1, and we can call this x sub 2, y sub 2. So we have 2 points here, and we can go ahead and graph these 2 points. This is going to be a strange graph. It has no negative values in it. And since the values are so large, we'll call this the s-axis, which is the same as the x-axis, and this we'll call the I of s-axis, which is like the y-axis. S values, well, the S values we have in our 2 ordered pairs are 20,000 and 25,000. So let's see. We'll go to, let's see. No, actually the X values are the S values. So we have from 0 to 500,000. So let's do this in increments of 100,000. So this is 100,000, and then 200,000, and then 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Remember, these are thousands. And then the I of S, which is her salary, that is going to go all the way up to, in our two ordered pairs, that's 20,000 to 25,000. So we'll do these in increments of 10,000. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. Now let's graph the 2 points that we know. We have the ordered pair x sub 1, y sub 1 is at 0 on the x-axis. You can think of it as the x-axis, and 20,000 on the y-axis. So it's this point right here. And the second ordered pair, x sub 2, y sub 2, has an x-coordinate of 500,000 and a y-coordinate of 25,000. So over here on the horizontal axis we're at 500,000, and on the vertical axis we're on 25. So it's between 20 and 30. It will be approximately in this location. And then we're going to connect those 2 points together with a straight line. And it only moves out to the right because we don't have negative values for sales or for income. And that should be straight. I didn't use a ruler on that. Okay, so that's our picture. We can put a box around it. And the last part we're going to answer up here, part E. At what level of income, at what level of sales will her income be $25,000? Well, we're going to solve the equation. $45,000 in income is equal to 0.01 times S plus 20,000. Okay, so we set the amount of income equal to $45,000, and we're going to find S, the amount of sales. This is S, the amount of sales. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to just isolate the S term by subtracting the 20,000 from both sides. Over here they cancel, but on this side I get 25,000 when I subtract, equals 0.01 times S. And then the last thing I do is divide both sides by the coefficient 0.01. So it's 25,000 divided by 0.01 equals 0.01 times S divided by 0.01. These guys cancel. I get S on this side. And when I divide by 0.01, it's really just moving the decimal point. I end up with 2500000. You can use a calculator in your homework to see this. And to make the commas, I just move from the right back to the left every 3 units, putting up a comma. So this implies that the sales is, it's a thing, the sales is, it sounds like improper English, but it's, sales is one unit, one thing, so we'll say is 2,500,000. That's how much she has to sell in screen doors before she's able to make an income of $45,000.